Brian Shaw announces Leonidas Arkona as his next arm wrestling opponent. Although Brian Shaw's strongman days are behind him, he continues to pursue his goal in arm wrestling, a new passion he discovered just a few years ago. While still relatively new to the sport, he is quickly rising through the ranks and is ready to take on world-class athletes. Thus, on January 19th, Brian Shaw officially revealed that his next match will be against Leonidas Arkona. Brian Shaw has already gained some experience in arm wrestling, making his debut with a victory against Eddie Hall and defeating Brandon Allen in a spectacular match. A few months have passed since his last appearance at the table, but Brian has now revealed his next challenge. Brian Shaw's next arm wrestling opponent. Before revealing his opponent, Brian Shaw discussed his fight against Brandon Allen and what led to the match. Most importantly, Shaw didn't want to enter a match where he was absolutely certain to win, but rather sought a challenge, something that would allow him to continue to improve. I wanted a challenge. I wanted something that would force me out of my comfort zone. Coming into the Shaw Classic in August 2025, I obviously had a lot on my plate, a lot going on with the event, a lot of planning, a lot of stress. So it was incredibly difficult to train for Brandon Allen and feel like I was in a good position to face him. I'm not one to back down from a challenge. I learned a lot from that match and I was able to get the win against Brandon Allen. Brian Shaw maintained the same approach when choosing his next opponent, wanting to organize a match with a more unpredictable outcome. Therefore, seeking to push himself further, he looked for someone roughly at his own level. I don't want to participate in matches where I'm going to crush my opponent. I don't want things to happen in a way that's easy and where it's a kind of predetermined outcome on the arm wrestling table. Brian Shaw considered several potential matches, including one against one of the greatest arm wrestlers of all time, John Burzank. However, while he would love to spend time at the table with John, Brian was also exploring other options for his next match. Another name that came up was Leonidas Arkona, a former weightlifter and bodybuilder who has turned to professional arm wrestling. Arkona has faced Devin Larratt, John Burzank, Larry Wheels, and others, demonstrating that he is certainly one of the most prominent figures in the community. Leonidas, an exciting arm wrestler, a pedigree of great strength exceeding 2,000 pounds in powerlifting. The current German record holder for the strict loop. Obviously very strong. If you've seen any of his stuff, he's done powerlifting, he's done bodybuilding, obviously arm wrestling. So, a really, really strong guy. And then you look at his matches, the matches he had against Larry Wheels. He beat Larry Wheels, and then he had a very notable victory against Schoolboy, which I think surprised a lot of people but also really put his name on the map in the arm wrestling world. You know, it was a back-and-forth match, a 3-2 victory for Leonidas. Finally, Brian Shaw has officially confirmed that he will face Leonidas Arkona in his next match. Specifically, he will travel to Germany, Arkona's home country, where the two will face off as part of East vs. West 23 on April 18th. Shaw acknowledges that Leonidas is a formidable opponent and is already preparing for the exciting match ahead. My next match will be against Leonidas Arkona. It will be in Germany, on April 18th, East vs. West 23. Since it's in Germany, I'm literally entering Leonidas's backyard. I'll have to travel there, which is a challenge I'm excited about, and I know the hype around it is going to be incredible. The challenge ahead of me is real. I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, "Oh yeah, Brian, you're going to get through this." Some people will support me, some people will support Leonidas, but when it comes to an arm wrestling match, I think that's what you want to happen. I don't think you want a match announced and everyone thinking, "Yeah, I already know exactly what's going to happen."